Shalom. This is expresscouk.com. Expresscouk.com. South China Sea, PLA troops trained to confront U.S. enemies in battlefield English. You are surrounded, surrender. So this is them in training. China is training its troops to speak battlefield English to help prepare them for any conflict with Western powers in the South China Sea. This article is a few days ago, January 20, 2021. According to the state-run China Global TV network, which is CGTN, learning English is essential for Chinese forces and must be picked up. A recent military exercise saw Chinese troops use English when dealing with their enemy. Beijing had made a number of territorial claims, most notable over the South China Sea and Taiwan, which are disputed by the Western nations. Tensions between China and the U.S. surged during the Donald Trump presidency, with the two superpowers clashing over trade, CV-19, human rights, territorial disputes. Speaking to the CGTN, Liu Chuanming, a Chinese officer stationed at the Paracel Islands in the South China Sea, said language skills are vital to avoid misunderstanding. He commanded, "We must ensure that our intentions can be accurately conveyed. Thus, we need to improve our level of English." Chinese troops are being taught to speak battlefield English. The CGTN report added, in recent years, countries and forces outside China have been provoking troubles and creating tensions in the South China Sea. The naval forces in the Southern Theater Command are at the forefront, safeguarding rights as well as maintaining regional peace and stability in the South China Sea. According to the South China Morning Post, which is another article talking about this, Chinese forces used English during a recent military drill on the Paracel Islands. The paper claims, speaking English, one soldier said, "You are surrounded, surrender." That's an example. We need to improve our level of English. This is them training continually. Beijing claimed sovereignty over the South China Sea. The world's busiest shipping route overlaps with rival claims from 6 of its neighbors. The United States refuses to recognize Chinese sovereignty and regularly sends warships on the freedom of navigation missions through the disputed territory. In December, the U.S. John S. McCain, a destroyer, passed near the Spratly Islands as a part of such a mission. In response, Chinese military dispatched ships and aircrafts to monitor the American vessel. And that's where the territorial dispute comes, because they really don't want them in that area. China also claims sovereignty over the island nation of Taiwan, a U.S. military ally. Beijing had repeatedly refused to rule out resolving the dispute with force. Last December, John Ratcliffe, U.S. Director of the National Intelligence, wrote a scathing piece describing China as the greatest threat to America today and the greatest threat to democracy and freedom worldwide since the World War II. Writing in a Wall Street Journal, he said, "The intelligence is clear. Beijing intends to dominate the U.S. and the rest of the planet economically, militarily, technologically." Mr. Ratcliffe also alleges China had been conducting human tests on its troops in the hopes of creating soldiers with biological enhanced capabilities, super soldiers. Joe Biden, the incoming U.S. president, has accused Beijing of using abusive practices. Speaking to the New York Times, he said the best China strategy, I think, is one which gets everyone of our, or at least what used to be ours, allies on the same page. That's them training. China also claims sovereignty over the islands of Taiwan, which is a U.S. ally, Taiwan. It's going to be a major priority for me in the opening weeks of my presidency to try to get us back on the same page with our allies. U.S. has also imposed sanctions on a human of Chinese figures, man. It alleges are involved in the persecution of Uyghur Muslims in the west of the country, and over a million Uyghurs and other Muslim minority groups are reported to be held in re-education camps in the region. This article here, a few days ago. Pretty much Operation Battlefield English. So they're learning to speak English so they can convey and communicate more accurately with pretty much their adversary, especially when they capture them. Just for example.